Hello and welcome to day one of our new challenge. This challenge is called 40 Days of Loving on Your Brain and Giving Your Soul a Huge Hug in the process. The reason it's got such a long name is because for anyone that already knows me and has already either worked with me or engaged in any of my work and courses and stuff, I created a course called 4 Weeks of Loving Your Brain. And that title is so important because during my own mental health journey, I found so much freedom in understanding my brain and treating it nice. That's how I saw the journey. I wanted to do things that gave my brain ease. I wanted to look after my brain. I wanted to understand my brain. I wanted to care for my brain. So 4 Weeks of Loving Your Brain was the name of the course, and it was fitting. The reason I've changed it to forget the amount of days, because that's irrelevant for now, but the reason I've changed it to Loving on Your Brain is because I don't want us to have a relationship with our brain. It's not my business whether we do, but I don't want to be promoting people to have a relationship with their brain like a feeling. A lot of people don't understand the part of love which is a verb, which is an action. So I believe firmly that our brain is a tool, and it isn't always on our side, you know? The way that it can work and jump first before and try to overpower our soul, it can be a bit disturbing and it can make life a little bit difficult. So I don't want us to be concentrating on loving our brain, like, you know, loving it. But loving on it, yes, so that we can look after it, yes. But I also want us to understand that it's the soul that sometimes needs the hug and needs to be nurtured. You know, this tool does need to work right, it needs to work. But we aren't our brains. We are our soul, you know, without getting too soulful and deep. But I want us to understand that. I want you to understand that. I'm saying us because I'm still in the learning process myself. But just so you understand, for anyone that does know me, I want you to understand all of this. So, 40 days of loving on your brain and giving your soul a huge hug in the process. Here we are, day one. This video might be a little bit longer than some of the others because I'm going to explain to you how the time together is going to look. In my mind, I am going to be posting a video a day, but I don't want to miss out on any days. And if I'm having a time or a day where I'm not feeling 100%, the way that I'm preparing for that is by being open to the fact that I might just do a written post, or it might be either way it will come to you. So the format is to be decided, but what I will be including is each day will be focusing on something that is really important when it comes to loving on your brain, looking after yourself, managing your mental health, decreasing stress, anxiety, and just helping you to live better and feel at your best. I'm not saying that after each day you're going to take that thing on board, but this is a toolbox. This is what you need, and over time you can absorb it in your own timing. I'm sure, you know, you'll get something from each day. So there'll be a different topic for each day, and some topics might need a few days, which is why we've got longer than my new normal challenges, which are 21 days. It's things that we need to take on board to ensure that we're loving on our brain and hugging our soul. And then I will share some thoughts about that thing. I might share an affirmation to help you speak life over yourself and impart that thing into you, you know, to make it solid, to make it a part of you. I will also include tasks for you to do, like journal prompts and activities, and also a prayer at the end. So anybody who understands the power of prayer, I'm sure you'll be excited to know that we'll close every session with a prayer. And anyone that doesn't, then this will be a great way for you to experience that. And anybody who's just like, I don't want to get involved in that part, it will be at the end, so you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would. But you know, you do what you feel comfortable with. It's going to be a great time together. Yeah, it's going to be life-changing, guys. I know it sounds broad, big, not broad, big and broad, big and broad. saying that, but it's true. Everything that I'm teaching during this time together has changed my life for the better. So, with that being said, oh yeah, I might be pulling different things from the challenges I've done before and from my courses. So some things might feel familiar, like with the affirmation challenge that I did, which was 21 days. We're going to be doing affirmations, as I've already said. And with the journaling challenge that I did, 21 days of joy of journaling, I included gratitude, checking in with yourself, seeing how you feel, and answering journal prompts, which help towards emotional, mental, and just overall well-being. So those challenges are going to be incorporated into this one because it's what I do. These are things that work. You'll see. But there'll be more to it. There'll be information, there'll be prayer, there'll be activities and tasks. And so yeah, the explanation is done. I did that in the kind of announcement video. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about, and it's great actually because the topic that I'm talking about today is also something that we are going to take on board. So we're talking about preparation. So a way that you can love on your brain is to prepare, to be a person who prepares. You don't have to be organized, Olive, to be a person who is good at preparation. But as Benjamin Franklin says, you prepare to fail if you don't fail. Typical. You prepare to fail if you don't, you prepare to fail if you fail to prepare. Okay? Preparation is so important. And what we're doing today, I'm going to talk to you about preparation and why it's important, but also we're going to prepare for the next 40 days together. We're going to prepare for this time, this challenge. So, a bit of a lesson for you here now, guys. Preparation. What do you think of when you hear preparation? First thing I always think of is food prep, meal prep. I think the first time I tried to be prepared as an actual, trying to be an organized, efficient person, I was trying to do meal prep. I wanted to plan my meals ahead so I weren't tempted to eat rubbish. And that is great. That is a great way to avoid overspending, to avoid the stress and, confusion and sometimes skipping meals by preparing your food. But preparing in general, being a person who is prepared, it can help you to avoid stress, anxiety, lateness, and just problems in general. If problems do arise and you're prepared, then you can handle them efficiently and you'll have solutions just ready right there for you because you're prepared. I feel like I'm going to say the word so much, it's going to sound like a different language soon. You know when that happens? Different things you do in life will need different forms of preparation. So preparation is just the things that you do to prepare for something, to anticipate something happening, to make sure that you're organized and to help you avoid stress, getting something ready. Once you decide that you want to do something or you should do something, preparing for it is the next most efficient way to get it done. And I repeat, it can save a lot of time and stress. Now, I know this can sound over the top because I know for some people, preparation and being prepared just comes naturally. If you're anything like me, you just face things as they come and you do things a bit last minute, and that kind of works for you sometimes, but at other times it feels like the biggest, strongest form of self-sabotage. But if you start small and see the effects and see how much peace it brings into your life, then it might actually flow a lot easier for you and you might learn to prepare for a lot of different things in life. For example, and again, I know this might sound over the top, but if you prepare your budget for the week and you go food shopping, you don't have to cook it all for the week, but you go food shopping and you buy 7 days worth of meals with that budget, then you don't have any kind of stress around what to cook, any time wasted. And some people don't find that stressful and don't feel like it wastes time to them, but some people, And I could be hungry, I could be ready to cook, but just not knowing what to cook and having one ingredient missing, it can cause me a lot of unnecessary stress, which can be tiring, almost ruin my evening at times. And I know that sounds far-fetched to some, but I know some people are listening like, yeah. And then what happens? You order food and it's something that doesn't make you feel good, and then you've lost out on money that you could have used on something else. And don't get me wrong, if you want to order food, it can be a lovely experience. It could be fun, it could be great, and it could be good food. But you see how preparation and just having that little time of planning can make the whole week feel a lot easier. It's the same with your clothes. Again, some people like to just see how they feel every day and just pick their clothes like that. But if you did test it out and pick, say, a week's worth of clothes in advance and just, line them up, I'm wearing that on Monday, that on Tuesday, that, it feels so good. I've done it. It doesn't come natural to me, but when I've done it, I feel like a completely different person. I feel like, you know when you used to have your school uniform, I didn't have a school uniform, but why am I giving that example? But I did have certain things I used to wear just to school, and it used to be ready the night before, and I used to just, I used to feel so good, especially at the beginning of the year when you just come back to school and you've got your new pencil case, you've got your new books, and you got your new clothes out. It was dreadful actually that I didn't have a uniform at my school, but you've got all your bits ready. You get that kind of feeling. It's like an exciting feeling, and it makes you feel, again, if it doesn't for you and it just feels like the most boring thing to have the plan, then this form of preparation might not be for you, but it definitely makes you feel lighter. And it takes one thing away. You can spend that time in the morning, instead of looking for an outfit, instead of getting into a fluff sometimes, because depending on your mood, depending on what you dreamt about, depending on what you heard before you got dressed and might have, affected you in some kind of way, the last thing you want to do is wonder what to wear. So those are just a couple of examples of why preparation is key when it comes to loving on yourself, managing your time, saving your money, looking after your body. There's so many different ways. Preparing for disaster, preparing for the people coming round, preparing for, meetings and presentations and stuff like that, which really does help. Last minute can cause stress. So preparing is great. And the reason I wanted to talk about preparation today and to encourage you to consider being a bit more prepared in different areas of your life, especially the ones that cause you stress, is because we're preparing for this time together. So the way that I want to help you with that is, it would be great if you have a notebook or a journal or paper. If you can only use devices, then great. Start a new folder in your phone or on your laptop where you save everything. But if you can get, and you do have access to writing materials, then it'll be good to have that ready, because I'm gonna ask you to do little and lots of bits and bobs, a lot. And also, prepare a bit of time. Like, I am 5 hours behind anyone doing this in the UK. I'm in New York, so it's Eastern time. So I am aiming to always have this up by 8 p.m. UK time, okay? Because I guess that's a time where you're not quite going to bed, but you're winding down, You do it whenever you want, but I just want it to be out that time, and that's my 3 p.m. So before then, right? This one might be a bit later, but either way, if you just make sure you have a bit of time where you go through, you maybe write a bit of notes, and you can then maybe write, if there's something that it comes up that you want to implement into your life, then you can strategize that. You can write down, okay, Penny spoke about preparation today, I always get stressed about what to eat. That's something that I'm gonna take on board. That's something that I'm gonna do. And then you can maybe get like your planner or your diary or your calendar on your devices and put a little reminder for the next, say, 40 days that, or if you do your food shopping every Sunday, prepare meals for the week and just begin to prepare. So you're going to need to put reminders or write down or be intentional about what it is you're taking on board. And if there are any tasks that I set or something that takes practice, then you're solidifying that by getting it written down. Also, I want you to prepare for the fact that when you are taking these changes on, when you are implementing new things into your life that feel great and you start to feel high and you start to feel just so good about yourself, because it will happen, there will be days where you feel the opposite, where you feel exhausted and perhaps even low. So I want you to be mentally prepared for those days and to not feel like you've gone backwards or like all of the good days are cancelled out because of it. Even good emotion can be exhausting. You can be, hearing about preparation and think, you know what, I needed this, I needed to be a bit more motivated. Or you could hear the prayer and it makes you feel really good and really uplifted and whatever it might be. You might have a few days in a row where it's all just making you feel really good. Be prepared for the down day because it can be tiring. Yeah, and we need the balance sometimes. We need to have down days to appreciate good days. It doesn't mean you've gone backwards, and it doesn't mean that all of the things that you've taken on board are cancelled out. It means you need to rest. It means you need to look after yourself and be easy with yourself. So prepare for that. Yeah, just have it in your heart, know it, and be prepared. Okay, that's something else. There will be times where I might set a journal prompt or set a task that if you are someone who has, emotional issues or, trauma that we're addressing, that might even be really taxing. It might feel really heavy. Just for a while, be mentally prepared in that sense to know that as you heal, it can hurt. It doesn't mean you should avoid it. It just means that you have to feel it sometimes. So if you can have a little bit of time alone, where you feel safe and cozy, then that'll be great preparation for this time together. Not all of it's gonna be something that could, but you might, as you're healing and some of the things we talk about and do, and it's gonna be healing. It's gonna work towards your healing. Sometimes you can hear one word that just elevates your healing or completely frees you from something, but it could also be emotional in the process. So just know that if the emotion comes up, if it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't mean it's not for you. It doesn't mean you should avoid it. Maybe if that particular day is something that you might not want to engage with at the time, you can come back to it another time. Of course you can, but just know that it's progress. Yeah, and I'm here if you want to reach out to me, if you want to talk about anything, let me know. If I'm busy, we'll schedule something, or I can type you a message or support you in any way, but just be prepared for these. And also when we're having, when we're working on ourselves, sometimes we can just feel a little bit rebellious and want to do the opposite and completely not do it for a while, and it's like self-sabotage. So just be prepared for these things too, and don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? Okay. Also, I want you to know that you do this at your own speed. If it takes you a couple of days to process day 1 or day 2, then just know I will continue to post and you can do it in your own time. You don't have to, it's not a race at all. I actually saw a quote that says something about this. Wait, let me find it. Should have been prepared with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna read this quote out and I want you to, however it speaks to you. I don't actually know who it's by, but it was definitely a quote that isn't by me. It says, preparation isn't all about seeing how fast you can get something done. It's more important to focus on doing it right. Prepare for success by pacing yourself. This might mean going over one particular area many times in an effort to get it right. I am taking all of this on board too. I need to be more prepared. I need to make sure that I'm not, being my own worst enemy sometimes with my lack of preparation and with just not looking after myself in the way that I know that I can and the way that I know will help me to reach my potential and see my full self, the self that I've had glimpses of, but just never see her for long enough to, I do, but not long enough. And that's why I'm doing this too. And so you do it at your own pace and just don't give up. Do it in your own time, but don't give up, because you get to the end of this and I promise you, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel different and you're gonna feel better and you're gonna see life in a different way. even if you know all of this, just doing it again and going through it with a group of lovely people will help. So, preparation, be loving towards yourself, get excited, get expectant, prepare. Yeah, and the way that you prepare for tomorrow today is to make sure you've got a notebook or a journal or paper, or you're ready to start jotting things down, because there is going to be a bit of that. Or if you don't like writing at all, you can record it as voice notes and save those into a folder, because it's going to be great to look back on. Not only does writing have such a therapeutic effect, getting your feelings out is literally sometimes better than actually talking to someone, believe me, because it's just you. But also, yeah, you can look back on it and see your progress. Even in 40 days, you'll look back like, wow, look at all that stuff I was writing, look how much I've grown. And that will be valuable. That will be like a treasure chest for you. So let's do an affirmation together to start this time off. The other videos will not be this long. This was just for me to give you an idea of how this whole thing's gonna look, okay? So, it's a basic affirmation. I could have looked up different ones, but I will not fail to prepare. I am prepared. I am prepared. I will prepare. Whichever one stands out to you, declare it out loud a few times. Choose it and say it out loud a few times. This isn't just for encouragement and for talking's sake. Affirmations are so powerful. I'll talk about that another day for anyone that didn't do my challenge or hasn't seen any of my stuff on affirmations, or doesn't see the daily ones that I put in the orange room. Well, they're not every day, but you know. Speak some life over yourself. I am prepared. I am preparing. I will better my life and love on my brain by being a prepared person. I like that one, even though it's long. I will better my life and love on my brain by being a prepared person. Love that one. Say it out loud. I will. I'm saying some you lot. What did I say? Rewind it and say it out loud. I don't even remember. I've got to, but I'm gonna do it. I will love on my brain and edify my life by being a prepared person. Yeah? Speak it out and be it. Really embody it. Now, I'm done. And that is today. Preparation. And I'm gonna now close with prayer. So, everyone, you can just close your eyes. It's only gonna be a quick one, but we close with prayer. Yeah? So close your eyes and you can either repeat after me or just agree in your heart, however you want to do it, okay? So Lord, I thank you for this challenge. I thank you for this time together. I thank you for every single person who is listening right now. I thank you for their life. I thank you for their heart. I thank you for the commitment that they're making to better themselves and to love on their brains and to give their soul the huge hug that it needs. Lord, I pray that during this time together, you strengthen us, you inspire us, you fill us with a sense of love and community, and you guide us into all the areas of our lives where we need to implement the things that are spoken about. I pray that you would be with us and love on us, and yeah, we thank you in advance for the amazing things and stories and changes and testimonies to come. Amen. Amen. Woo, 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 woo. All right, guys. See you tomorrow for the next one. Bye. I always feel like I'm on CITV when I do that. Like I've got paint all over me. You know, like heart attack. Anyway, bye, guys.